Well, hello everyone out there. This is the Head Couch Analyst Show, and I am your host Sanders, where the birds love to flock, and the couch analysts love to think they're right when they're actually wrong. Speaking of being wrong, my Raiders 2-0 start didn't start out that hot. Not going so well. Me also picking the Bengals to win the division, not going so hot either. So, what can I say? We love to be wrong here. Anyway, I got some week 3 picks for you guys coming up. I'm sorry this one is late. Didn't mean to post it on Saturday night, but it is what it is. I was super busy, with my job and whatnot. And if you're wondering what I do, well, if you follow me on Twitter, then you know what I do. So, I talk about it a lot. So, let's get to what you guys actually came here for, which is the week 3 picks. I want to guys let you know that I picked the Browns here. I'm very upset actually because I actually had the Steelers at plus 4.5 in DraftKings and plus 7.5 on FanDuel with Pat McAfee special, and they blew it. I mean, I wouldn't have hit the point plus 4.5, but still they blew that plus 7.5, which is a bummer. But I did pick the Browns to win this game, so I am starting this week 1-0. So what's going to happen tomorrow? Let's find out. Saints and Panthers. I want to believe that like the Panthers are better with Baker Mayfield. I have always liked Baker Mayfield, but I've told you guys that Baker Mayfield just ain't it if he doesn't have Kevin Stefanski, and I still believe that is true even now. So until the Panthers like show me something, they'll probably be a team that I'm always going to pick against until further notice, or they're playing against a team that I think they can catch a win against, and I just don't think that's going to happen against the Saints, who look pretty okay. So I'm picking the Saints here. We got the Texans versus the Bears here. Funnily enough, I feel like this is a game that like the Texans should grab out of nowhere, but the Bears look a lot better than like what a lot of people are giving them credit for. So if we had to like pick a team here, I like the Bears here. Their defense is playing young and tough. Justin Fields isn't looking horrible. I understand that the Packers beat them down Sunday night, but as Aaron Rodgers once said last year, he owns them. He still owns them, and he's owned them his whole fucking life. So what can you say? Outside of that, though, I feel like the Bears should pick a dub here in the morning game against the Texans, right? Right? You would hope so. Next one is Chiefs Colts. Colts are pretty much where I think the Panthers are, which is nowhere near contention right now. They have a great roster. I don't know what's going on there. Like I feel like this is the best roster in the division. Not saying much about the AFC South, but they should be better than 0-1-1. They should at least be 1-1 or 2-0, but they're playing the Chiefs and they're probably losing this game. This is not a trap game for KFC. For Kansas City, moving on. Bills Dolphins. Surprise pick here. I'm actually picking the Dolphins here. I still think the Bills are the Super Bowl favorites, but they have a lot of defensive players that are missing. A lot of starters that are going to be missing. Micah Hyde is also out for the season. We wonder what they're going to do for that position. Possibly they could trade. I think a smart man would say that they should trade for Jesse Bates. They totally should trade for Jesse Bates, especially if the Bengals end up losing their game. That's going to be down here, but we'll see what happens there. But as of right now, I got the Dolphins winning this game. Fully healthy roster compared to the Bills, which are going to be grasping for straws. And it's tougher to play in Miami than most people think. All right, Lions Vikings here. This one's a doozy, mostly because like I'm on the Vikings train, but like that Monday night game was awful, guys. That was bad. I understand primetime Cousins isn't good, but that was like less than good. That was less than okay. That was just terrible. The Eagles just came out and stomped, right? Whereas like the Lions look like they've been competitive in both games they've been in, winning one and barely losing the other to the Eagles. This is going to sound super lame because I think the Vikings are going to finish as a better team by the end of the season. But I feel like this is a trap game where the Vikings go 1-2 and lose everybody for a second, right? And then the Vikings, when no one wants them, are going to be better than everybody else. So I'm not sure I want to pick the Lions either, though. I'm picking the Vikings, but I'm not comfortable with it. This one's a toss-up. This is a coin toss. Next one, Ravens Patriots. So, fun fact: the Baltimore Ravens are 0-6 against Bill Belichick when playing in Gillette Stadium during the regular season. However, they have won, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but they have won 3 playoff games in Gillette Stadium. So, like in the postseason, they always beat New England. When it's not the postseason, they never beat New England in Gillette Stadium. I think that trend ends this week mostly because the Patriots have shown us like nothing, guys. Nothing. Like the Ravens should be 2-0 first of all. They just had an epic collapse, which is not going to happen again. But secondly, what in what way do the Patriots match up to the Ravens like at all? Like at all. I don't I don't see it. I don't see the upset happening. And Mac Jones is not that great either, and the Ravens are getting healthier. I don't know, man. Like you can call me biased all you want because they're my team, but like if I'm being objective here, just every check mark, quarterback, defense, running game, maybe not running game. Running game has kind of gone better for the Patriots. I'll give it to that one to the Patriots. But like defense, quarterback, even wide receivers, it's just better in Baltimore. They shouldn't lose this game. Moving on. Bengals Jets here. Would it be weird if like the Bengals went 0-3 here? They've gotten off to a rough start. They look nothing like the team that went to the Super Bowl. They look nothing like the team that went 10-6 last year, for being honest. I don't know what's going on in Cincinnati. I haven't watched the tape on Cincinnati yet to actually like judge Cincinnati. Probably something I should have done going into week 3, but I wanted to see how they did 4 weeks in before I watched tape on them. If they start like 1-3, I'm super concerned about them like overall. Starting 0-2, especially now that the 17-game season isn't a death wish, but losing to the Jets and starting 0-3 would be a death wish. Funnily enough, I actually have the Jets winning this game. I like the Jets' talent. I like their roster. I actually think they'll be able to get to Joe Burrow because this line ain't protecting him at all. Unfortunately, in order for you to use all the weapons that Cincinnati has, you have to protect your quarterback, and they haven't been doing that. So I have an upset pick here with the Jets. Although I hope for like the sake of like Cincinnati and like Joe Burrow, because I like Joe Burrow, I hope they don't start 1-2, but it's not looking great for them right now. Whereas the Jets look more like on the up and up than like Cincinnati does. Raiders Titans here. Have you ever asked yourself what it would be like if you ever saw a team trade away a wide receiver and it actually impacted them for once? Because believe it or not, more often than not, when you trade away wide receivers, like when the Falcons traded away Julio Jones, didn't really do anything for the Titans. Funnily enough, we're talking about the Titans here. The Packers have traded away Davante Adams. They're 1-1. They look fine. They don't look great, but they look fine. You know, they'll make it through after he's gone. The Texans, I mean, we're in a rebuild mode when they traded away DeAndre Hopkins. I'm trying to think of another team that, like... the Ravens. They just traded away Marquise Brown, their best receiver, right? I mean, he was the best receiver at the time. Let's be fair to him. And they're doing just fine in the passing game. Did you ever think there'd be a time where you see they trade a wide receiver? A wide receiver would be traded away from a team, and the team would suffer because that's exactly what's happening with the Titans right now. They don't look good. They look bad. Really, really bad. They don't have a receiver to go to. Their run game is getting outrun by opposing defenses. Like, Titans like would have to come out with a surprise here. At least the Raiders have looked like passable, you know, in their 0-2 start, whereas the Titans have looked nothing like passable. So I feel like the Raiders should win this game. Titans start 0-3, former number 1 seed of last year. Eagles, Commanders. Now, wouldn't it be so odd for Carson Wentz to have his revenge game against the Eagles here, like actually win it? I don't think it's going to happen, but it actually could. On the other hand, this is kind of a game that like the Eagles could lose. They had 2 really big games, 38-35 against the Lions, and then an absolute demolishing of the Vikings on Monday Night Football. Like, it's kind of everywhere for like everybody's going to bet on the Eagles, like in a betting world, and like it would upset everyone's bets and provide balance to the world if like Washington won this game, both in the betting world and in the football world. This is a trap game for Philadelphia, most definitely. I don't think they fall for it, but it's most certainly a trap game if they lose one. I'm still picking Philadelphia here. Next one, Jaguars-Chargers. Listen, I got this going 2 ways. If Justin Herbert starts, I'm going to pick the Chargers. If Justin Herbert's not starting, I actually think the Jaguars can take this game. So, like, put it either way, right, when you put me on the count list. Justin Herbert plays, Chargers win. Jaguars play, or Justin Herbert doesn't play, Jaguars win. And that's pretty much all I got to say about that one. Both very talented teams. I like where Trevor Lawrence is going. It's just, you know, you need your quarterback. And I don't trust, you know, Chad Henne to light the Jaguars up necessarily. Moving on. What a story for the Rams and Cardinals starting in week 2. Like, the Rams get absolutely demolished. The Cardinals get absolutely demolished. And then the Rams win a tight game. Well, I mean, they were really ahead, but the Falcons made it closer than it should have been. And then the Cardinals come back from like a 20 to 0. 20 to 0. Oh, I just can't wrap that around my head. 20 to 0. And they come back and win that game by getting 2 touchdowns and 2 extra points. And it had to go to overtime. And it was a scoop up by Byron Murphy. Amazing. However, that doesn't mean the Cardinals' woes are over. They played, what, a quarter and a half of solid play. I'd like to see more from Arizona. But then again, the Rams are going to this really banged up. The Cardinals have been used to playing banged up the last 2 weeks. The Rams have not. We'll see if the Rams players can step up. But I'll give this one to Arizona and Arizona. Falcons Seahawks. This has got to be like the worst matchup of the afternoon, right? Like, unless you're a Seahawks or Falcons fan, like, nobody cares about this game. Now that these teams are making the playoffs. Now that these teams are exciting anybody. There's no marquee players to really watch unless you're a big fantasy person with Kyle Pitts and, like, DK Metcalf. But, like, maybe Rashad Penny. This is a who cares game. I'm not trying to be, like, upset the 12 Nation or I don't even know what the Falcons say for their fan base, but the Falcons fan base, it's just, unless you're a Falcons or Seahawks fan, nobody cares. Who wins this game? A piece of me says the Seahawks should win this game, but they've looked awful the first 2 weeks, as have the Falcons. But at least the Falcons have shown signs of life by scoring a lot of points. They choked away the first one, almost made a comeback against the Rams. I feel like the Falcons have shown more life than Seattle. It wouldn't shock me if Seattle wins this game because it's in Seattle, but I don't see the Falcons starting 0-3. So let's give it to the Falcons here. I know, such in-depth analysis on that one. Packers Buccaneers. I'm picking an upset here. Packers are going to win this game on Sunday Night Football. I think the Packers are just starting to figure it out. They'll be just fine. This Buccaneers defense could actually give Green Bay everything they need and more to win this game. I fully trust Todd Bowles to come up with a game plan that would put the Buccaneers defense in position to win this game no matter how the offense does, but something's just not right with that Buccaneers offense right now. I know it's not healthy, right? I understand it's not healthy and the wide receivers like don't exist right now, but something else is off too, because that week 1 game against the Dallas should have been a bigger blowout, I feel, than it actually was. Either way, I got Green Bay winning this game, and I'm wrong. This isn't Sunday Night Football. This is the afternoon game. I think this is the game of the week for Fox, so my bad on that one. Because the Sunday night game is the 49ers Broncos here. So much for the Russell Wilson hype in Denver. It has not been good. Russell Wilson has had one of the worst starts to his career at the Broncos, and I don't think it's because he's washed. I truly believe like there's something else going on here. I don't know if like Hackett doesn't understand what like Wilson's strengths are, but like they moved the ball really well against Seattle. They shouldn't have scored. Like honestly, we should be talking about a 2-0 Denver team here, but we're not. They're 1-1. I mean, it's just like how we should have been talking about a 2-0 Baltimore team and we're not. Or we should be talking about a 1-1 Raiders team or an 0-2 Cardinals team. But things happen in the NFL, and that's why it's the NFL. As for the 49ers, we could be talking about an 0-2 49ers if Trey Lance had played the whole time. I know people were giving Colin Cowherd a lot of crap for saying that the 49ers were automatically better now that Trey Lance isn't quarterback. I'm sorry, I agree. They're just a better team when Jimmy G is playing. I don't understand why that was such like a hot take. Like I know there was the whole drama of like he used to date his daughter and what Trey Lance used to date his daughter, but whatever. I don't think that's why Colin Cowherd said that. He said that because it's true. I'm sorry. The better quarterback was the backup quarterback in Jimmy G. When the better quarterback starts playing, the team is better off. Facts are facts. Like, Trey Lance doesn't look good right now. He hasn't looked that great. And sure, he could develop, but, like, he hasn't looked that great. Jimmy G can win with this team, and we've seen that, like, 3 different times. Twice it's taken him to an NFC Championship, and once a Super Bowl out of those 2 NFC Championship trips. And they were, like, 9.5 minutes away from winning that Super Bowl. But then Patrick Mahomes happened. So, like, I don't know. I didn't understand the hate. I'm going to say it, too. Jimmy G's playing for the 49ers makes them a better team than if Trey Lance is playing for them as of today. That can change in the future, but as of today, 49ers are better when Jimmy G's playing. Who wins this game? I mean, I have to pick the 49ers, right? I want Denver to win, mostly for the sake of my mom, who's a big Broncos fan, but got to pick the 49ers here. better team. Not necessarily better quarterback, but like better quarterback play at the moment. Denver's got to step it up if they want to show it to us. They can show it to us on Sunday night, though. Denver can win this game. But I think the 49ers take this one away. This game is way, way better than you would have thought. This game is actually so intense. I love the Cowboys-Giants matchup. This matchup is so cool. I never would have thought, like, looking in August, that I would look forward to a Cowboys-Giants game. It's been a long time since these games have been fun for, like, non-fans, right? Like, if you were a Cowboys-Giants fan, this was always, like, a cool divisional matchup. It's got a lot of history, but for the past few years, nobody cares. Dallas has been eh. The Giants have been, like, you know, like... But now, we got a 2-0 Giants team. And yeah, Daniel Jones still isn't the best, but they're 2-0. They're winning. And the Cowboys, they have Cooper Rush at quarterback, a backup. Who would have thunk? Oddly enough, I don't understand how I'm going to pick this. I should not be picking this. I shouldn't. But I want to pick the Giants 3-0 to start on Monday Night Football. Why? So the defense is massively improved. Don Martindale's done a lot with that. He's taken a lot of former players who used to play in the system in Baltimore and put them in. One of the marquee ones being Tony Jefferson. But this Giants defense is just more aggressive, takes more risks, and it throws things at teams that people don't expect the Giants to throw at them. People didn't expect it in Baltimore when it first happened either. People got used to Baltimore doing it, but it's just a different scheme with different players. Coming from the New York Giants. The Cowboys, on the other hand, man, they're on the struggle bus. They really are. Like, they looked better under Cooper Rush. I will say that. They looked better. I don't think Cooper Rush is a better quarterback. Dak Prescott clearly is, but they looked better in that Week 2 game. Ezekiel Elliott is not popping off like he should be. Tony Pollard isn't doing as well as he should be. Players got to step up. Players got to step up for Dallas. Right now, the Giants just look like the better team, so I'm picking the Giants to win this one. They start 3-0. That's it for my picks this week. I'm sorry, again, that this was such a late video. I meant to do like a storylines episode about like what to talk about, but I'll do that starting next week when I'll have time. So I wish you all the best Sunday, and I hope your team wins unless they're playing mine. So if you're a Patriots fan, see you later.